Hello, Barrie. It's Community Chat with Heather Hansen and RateDeal.ca, part of Rock Capital Mortgages. And I'm with Erin Lutz and Gildas Club. Hi, Erin. Thanks for meeting with us today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me here, and welcome to all the people that are going to watch us.
Absolutely. And, there's been so many changes. You've been doing some amazing things over there. And I drive past, I see the little bubble, which is on hold, but love to hear about what you do and how you help people in the community.
Well, I used to work at RVH on building the cancer center. And the one thing we said more often than anything is we want to bring care closer to home. And the reason why you want people who are going through a cancer journey to be close to home is that's where your family and your friends are. They're the most valuable resource you can in getting through a diagnosis. Now, what if you don't have family? What if you don't have a spouse? What if you don't have friends? How do you tell your kids? There's so many things that come with a cancer diagnosis that we're just not really equipped very well to be able to handle. We're fortunate that we have a great facility at RVH to treat cancer, but what's there for you as a person? What's there for your spouse? What's there for your children? That's where Gilda's Club comes into play. So our mission here is very simple. We support anyone impacted by cancer. So if you have a disconnect with how to handle your situation as someone who's diagnosed or as a caregiver or as a friend or family, is we have tools and resources free of charge to help you get those things back in order.
Wow. So I didn't know half of that. So this is one of the reasons that I'm really glad that we're talking, because there's so many people who don't understand that. I thought you literally were there to service people with cancer. I didn't realize you were there as a support for everyone.
It's frequent. We had someone stop by here yesterday. They thought that we were hospice, where people were receiving palliative care. We don't actually take care of a medical side of treatment. When it comes to medicine, you have oncologists and you have professionals that provide that medical advice. When it comes to psychosocial and emotional support, this is where we wind up coming into play. And, for many people in our community is they don't know who we are. We're one of two Gildas clubs in Canada, but there's a network worldwide in being able to provide this. And I even find people don't know how to spell Gildas. They think it's like a guild of something or an association. And you tell people it's about Gilda Radner, and you go have younger people going, who's Gilda Radner?
Right.
Well, you heard of Saturday Night Live, and you and I would know is that Gilda Radner was one of the original Saturday Night Live members, and she was diagnosed in the 80s with ovarian cancer. And many of the questions that she ran into were some of the same questions of the people that built Gilda's Club here 10 years ago. And it's like, what's there on how to live with cancer? And as we've improved outcomes with cancer, is that we've built cancer centers. There's new technologies, there's education, there's awareness. There's so many things where the yardstick of outcomes has changed. Terry Fox, when he was diagnosed with osteosarcoma in 77, had less than 5% chance of surviving his cancer. As we fast forward with all the amazing work that's been done with the Terry Fox Foundation, Canadian Cancer Society, education, awareness, new treatments, it's well north of 80% survival for that exact same type of cancer, and amputations are almost unheard of. So we've changed the landscape. And while you might be told that you have cancer, that your first question is, how long do I have? That truthfully, Canadian Cancer Society stats say that 75% of people survive the first 5 years of their diagnosis. So really the more relevant question is becoming, how do I live with cancer? And we have a healthcare system designed about treating the disease. What's there to answer that question? Gilda's Club is that answer. So we're lucky that we have this in our community. And quite honestly, people from across Ontario now are accessing our services because we've gone virtual and digital for the safety of our people. We deal with immune compromised people, and they've always been very acute to contagions and illnesses in our community. But COVID is not forgiving in any way. So we've gone virtual, it's safe, and we have 6 members from Ottawa using our services. You have if they have access to a computer or a phone and high-speed internet, we can help you. And that's exactly our mission. Help support anyone impacted by cancer.
It's amazing. And, just sharing the fact that the statistics are so different now. And I love your term, the yardstick. Is just, yep. It resonates with people. I think that that's a way for people to really understand that it's not a life sentence anymore. It is a lifestyle that needs to be worked around and worked with.
In many ways, in working in the hospital environment, is that these are complex conditions. You know, how does your treatment with cancer impact your treatment with diabetes? You know, or with other conditions. You know, there's multiple morbidities and complexities, and many medical terms. At the end of the day, is there's treatments for the disease and for how to be able to be healthy, but how do you live well? And there's again tolls that people have, and in regards. And for me, I can share some of the phone calls and stories, and I'm going to hijack us for 2 minutes and just say that I received a
Please.
call about a month ago from a grandmother, and she said, I think my granddaughter needs help. My son-in-law is palliative. He's been released from the hospital. He's at home. He's not doing well. And my granddaughter, she's 16. She needs help. And any help resource is that you got to get on a computer, you got to do a phone call, and she doesn't want to be able to do this, and you're left guessing. Maybe it's because she doesn't want to be able to have her father hear this, or her younger sister. She's trying to be strong, she's trying to be someone that can help carry strength in a time where everyone is struggling. And she was like, do you have services? And it's we have a certified child life specialist. This is a woman who has her master's and who's doing programs just for kids on how to be able to deal with the emotional toll. We go around and we say, what is it that we can do to help kids? We came up with a very special program called Create a Worry Creature. We actually have a workshop happening tomorrow with the Innisfil Public Library, where she'll go in and she goes through a story, and you're helping 4, 5, 6-year-olds or teenagers on how to communicate and handle stress and anxiety. And we've learned these things as we talk to kids with cancer. We said, let's get this into schools, because kids that are going through COVID are feeling depressed. They have anxiety, fear of the unknown. These are the things that anyone who's gone through cancer feels. And it's, what can we do to be able to help these people? So when a grandmother calls and says, can you help? It's like, we're looking to see exactly how we can help, not just the granddaughter, but the mother and the grandmother. And, it's frequently the caregivers that need just as much care and attention as the people who are going through cancer. And we provide that. And we provide that free of charge.
Wow. So free of charge. That's a huge statement. So that being said, that means that you are going to be accepting donations to help build Gildas Club. Do you do any special events, or is it like an ongoing thing and then events sort of heighten that?
When I talk with community groups, I always try to say, get involved. There's many ways that you can support an organization, whether it's volunteering your time or volunteering your energy, or making cash contributions. And cash contributions, I think, are very important to be able to define meaningful gifts. I've had people that can make large donations that are just stop asking me for donations. And then I'll have people where they come in and they're giving you $20, and you can tell that this is all of the money that they have to be able to give. And meaningful gifts fund the change in the vision of what it is that we do here. So if you can, participate, and it's like you need a little something for your bang, that's great. Like we have a golf tournament, $190, you can do that, and you're supporting charity. We have auctions, you can do that. You can go into payroll deduction, where or monthly deductions where you're doing something through your credit card, and $5 a month. $10 a month. We have people that'll make donations of thousands of dollars a month. And we need those donations because we don't receive government funding for our core program services. There's a lot more funds that we've gotten over this year through the pandemic, through Canada Summer Jobs. But at the end of the day, we don't have government funds that we can sit there and rely on to say, this is what we do to be able to provide support. And the support that we provide is to hundreds of people across the region, and their families that are looking for the type of support that we provide. So if anyone's interested, go to our website, gildasclubsimcomuskoka.org, and you can see some of the different ways that you can give. $200 will get you a brick. We put that in the courtyard. The courtyard, we converted over the winter into a winter wonderland. We got a little garden bubble there, and you couldn't go to a restaurant and eat on the patio when it was -30 out, but you could come on out and grab your food on takeout, come over here and enjoy that space. So we had provided that to our members who hadn't been out since last March. Some of them still haven't been out. We provided that to some of our volunteers, some of our donors, and then we had some auction giveaways through media partners, because we want more people to know who we are and what we do. You're impacted by cancer and you need help, we can help.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, what made you decide to join Gilda's Club?
I would have said 20 years ago when I first got into fundraising that it was going to be like a corporate spin doctor, someone that gets in there and does, a lot more kind of the talking and a little bit of this and that. But, as you get involved and you see the impact that you're doing is, it's been so important. I loved when I worked at RVH in the I Believe campaign and building a cancer center. I wound up saying I want to be able to learn more things. I went down to Mount Sinai Hospital and worked with them, particularly on the Research Institute, and doing fundraising events on fueling the future of cancer discoveries and medical research. And the things that are coming down the pipeline are just fantastic. But truthfully, as we've again changed that yardstick of outcomes, really the growing need in our system is how to live with cancer. And we can work with some support groups, but what we do here at Gilda's Club is evidence-based programming. We're part of a 52 network Gilda's clubs and cancer support communities across the world, 175 locations. There is a lot of information that comes in on how we can make sure that our programs and services are helping the people that are needing that support. And at the end of the day, there's about 700 different programs that we can apply towards our membership's needs. Not every cancer is the same. There's lots of similarities and their journeys are unique, but how can we create a community and provide groups and workshops and sessions that help give people tools to be able to do that? You go through treatment and chemotherapy will frequently rob people of the ability to do of their taste buds. So how do you enjoy food? Because you need to keep your energy up. What foods impact your medications? There's so many aspects that come into play, and we look to be able to make sure that addresses what our membership needs are. And one thing I want to be able to get into is that we anticipate that some of these needs, unfortunately, are going to be growing in the coming year. So we do look to make sure that people are aware, that they're educated and informed, and that they feel involved in being able to improve their lives or the lives of their loved ones.
Okay. And what was it like? I mean, obviously you come from a background of charities and building support systems, but what was it like to get started here? Like, how long have you been with Gildas?
I started in January of last year, and certainly as we were getting to March, as I'm starting to get familiar with what some of the pieces are that we need to be able to accomplish for the success of our organization. And lo and behold, we're into a pandemic. So, like so many charities, you find all of a sudden yourself, you're in the deep end of the pool and it's sink or swim and there's no lifeguard on duty. You're trying to be able to make sure that you can take care of the awesome responsibility of making sure these programs and services are there for people when they need them. And fortunately, we've done 10 years of great work, and we've had so many donors and supporters that were there for us to be able to say, we know that you need this stuff. And again, the people that are those regular donors, those monthly donors, are so important in being able to say, this is what we know that we can do. And, there's been great adaptations that we've done with our programs, but, we serve just as many people today as we did before the pandemic. And it just happens to be in some different formulas. We're helping more people that are further away from the physical location of what it is that we're having here. And, most people, as they get into it, as they realize how easy these Zoom connections are and how valuable the connections are for that. And especially, it comes across frequently, those who know. And if you've been diagnosed with cancer and you've gone through a treatment, what it is to be told that you have cancer, and how you can play a role in supporting that. So fortunately, we have a lot of people that were there for us at those times, and it's been adaptations. And now we're trying to take the lessons that we've learned and see how we can do things more efficiently and reach more people.
Yeah,
we're still doing a great thing here, and we are always happy when more people call to be able to look for that help. And there's great phone calls where people are going, I've heard about you and I'm ready to do this. And then there's hard phone calls where people have called in, and it takes several breaths for them to summon every bit of energy to issue the words, I need help.
Right. And it's so amazing that this has been able to stay and grow with the technology that we now have, that, 10, 15 years ago, we wouldn't be able to be growing into, being able to reach more people, help more people, get donations from more people, if we didn't have this type of technology. So the timing is somewhat in our favor for quite a few people who didn't know that they could reach out to you.
Well, there's potential, and I think that the incredible part is the potential of, small gifts making big impacts. If people are to just do bake sales or garage sales, and you're talking about, what does $100 do in this world? Well, $100 means that I can have a professional facilitator for a bunch of women who are learning about breast cancer and how to deal with, a mastectomy or a double mastectomy, or, what are the complications that come across, and that, we don't really want to work with anything less than professionally guided support and material. So, that's exactly what that means. Is $100 can mean a session with a professional and connect with other people that are like you to support each other and to be able to get support. And for anyone who's gone through these programs, is, you always think that you have to receive to benefit. And truthfully is that you benefit from giving sometimes too. And we see that through people who volunteer. And, volunteering by doing a bake sale or a garage sale, or, utilizing any special gifts that you might have is important. For example, everyone that listens to this can help us out by sharing our Star Wars auction. We have an auction going on that closes on May the 4th. And for anyone who's in the Star Wars realm will know that May the Force be with you is where May the 4th is the date. And we close on May the 4th. Send this to someone that is a Star Wars fan. Find our web link on our website. Put that out there, because every dollar goes towards our cancer support programs. People can get a great collectible item. They can wind up connecting someone who loves Star Wars with Star Wars materials. And I think anyone who's a Star Wars fan is always a child at heart. So I can safely say that I've played with a couple of the toys already. But hey, that's fun.
Well, you had to check them out, right?
Quality control is a very
quality
important.
Control.
Yes.
That's it. That's the tagline. We'll go with that. So why did Gildas Club choose Barrie, and this near the hospital in Barrie, as a location? I mean, it's like you said, it's 1 in 2 in Canada, right?
1 in 2 in Canada, yeah.
And so why here?
Ultimately, I think every community would love what it is that we have. No one is immune from cancer, and Canadian Cancer Society in 2019 says that 1 in 2 Canadians will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. So the birth of Gilda's Club Simcoe Muskoka happened in this community by this community. While I was at the hospital building a cancer center, is that the questions naturally come around to is, it's great that we're bringing care closer to home, but what's there for everyone else? And, what's there for, the single mom who's having to go through cancer and doesn't have a spouse or doesn't have family in the neighborhood? What is there for you for that? There are other groups that wind up helping you through, but, the question that faced the founders of Gilda's Club were the same questions that were faced here. So Gilda's Club was built 25 years ago down in New York City, wound up growing and locations in Detroit, in Rochester, in Chicago, in Toronto, and those were connections that Gilda Radner had through her career. There was another organization called the Wellness Community, which wound up becoming Cancer Support Community, and they merged 10 years ago. And that was roughly when the Cancer Center was being built and Gilda's Club was being structured of, why not in our community? And a grassroots campaign, a bake sales and garage sales raised $3 million to be able to build this facility, which for anyone who's been in here or has used it, calls it a sanctuary. And it's so important when you're going through a cancer journey to be able to have a space that is yours, sometimes away from your family and away from your friends, for you to be the person that you are and share, the fears and the struggles that you have, to share some of the successes that you've realized. And, it's been an incredible place here. And this community has a gem in its midst. And Gilda's Club is that gem. And again, for the people that know us, they love us. And I just want more people to know about us.
Well, that's the hope here, that as we are able to talk to more people and build and grow the information, so that people hear your name, or they see the flyer, or they see the red door. All of these things are
The red door.
Yes,
It's important. Yep.
it is important. And people see these things, and you might mention to them, oh, for myself, I live in this neighborhood. So for me, I can say, oh yeah, Gilda's Club, I live near there. If you say Tim Hortons, it's every corner, right? But I can say, Gilda's Club, I'm up near the hospital, Gilda's Club right around the corner from there. And people don't necessarily know. They're like, oh yeah, so they know the area or the location, but they might not understand the depth of what that red door means to people in our community. And now further, right off the highway, so that
It's
when the doors open again, those people will be welcomed with open arms and be able to actually utilize the physical building as well.
Well, I got Georgian Drive right behind me. There's trees there. We have a beautiful courtyard. If anyone is wondering, about looking through Gildas Club, is we have a virtual tour available on our website. So come up and check us out. I look out my other window in front of me. I can see the Cancer Center. So, the premise is that anyone throughout our region that is coming to the Cancer Center for treatment, they can also come on over here, access our services. With that said, is that, some people, we don't think about, what we would have to do if we were diagnosed with cancer until we have to do it. It's not fun to think about those what ifs, but, I very much want people to be able to know who we are and what it is that we can do, so that if anyone is diagnosed themselves or in their family, or that they know that, there's some questions that people have, and that we play a very valuable role in that cancer journey. And that you don't have to worry about the cost, because we have donors that believe in what it is that we do, and the impact we have on those lives. I want more donors to know that there's more people that will be diagnosed that need support. I consider myself a traffic guard in an intersection. I point people that want to help towards people that need help. And when it comes to the story of cancer, we're very much in that intersection of care. And we want to make sure that people find that best destination that they're looking for. So, some people are going to be the helpers, and some people are going to be the people that need help. So if you're interested and want to know more, I am always available to have that conversation. I would love to be able to do tours when we're able to do that. But if you wind up seeing an event or an activity that's supporting Gildas Club, get involved. If you want to be able to do more or have your own event or idea, get involved. And, even if it winds up being with a different organization throughout town, is there's, 100,000 registered not-for-profits and community organizations across Canada. There is something there for you. Get involved.
Awesome. And I think you mentioned it already. Even if you don't have a lot and you want to give, small donations are okay. That they're appreciated
every
just as much. It's what you're comfortable with.
Well, radiothon campaigns, or quite honestly, I'll even switch that and just say RVH Auxiliary. I knew very well when I worked at the hospital. They're the hospital's largest donor. I remember they made a $5 million pledge towards the Cancer Center. And we had a great time in promoting and acknowledging that. And it's like, well, how does an auxiliary raise $5 million? They run a coffee shop. They sell a cup of coffee at a time. They go out and they do their tag days. They stand out in front of doors, and it's like, whatever change that you have, sometimes it's 25 cents, sometimes it's $5. You add that up over all the days and all the years, and look and behold, we have a cancer center in our community, because this community gave in what they could when they could. And when you talk about what it is that happens here at Gildas Club, it's very much the same way. So we look to be able to make sure that people understand the power of their gift and where it is going. And I can guarantee you that when it comes to Gildas Club here, that it goes to our cancer support program, which encompasses all the programs that we do for the kids, for the parents, for anyone impacted by cancer, and what it is that we can do to be able to make sure more people are aware and understand who we are and what we do.
Well, and we're going to make sure that we have all the contact information right here, so that people can just click and go, and we'll have the website attached. We'll have all of the Facebook and every other social media that is on and available, we'll make sure is on here, so that people are able to find you. So through the website, is that the best way if somebody is interested in making a donation? Is it through the website, or what is the easiest way for people to give you money?
We are good at taking money in many ways, and any charity should be able to say that. So if you go to our website, there is secure online portals to be able to do that, or you can find our postage, our mailing address, and mail us a check. We can even accept e-transfers if that's the case. Just call us up and look to be able to talk to myself, and we'll make that happen. But at the end of the day, some people will have great collections of items, and like, I don't like to donate something for an auction. The Star Wars collectible collection that we have now, a family donated it after they lost their son. He was an avid collector, and it's like, what do we do with this collection? And it's like, we wanted to get in the hands of people that love Star Wars, but we don't want to sell 1,000 items. And for me, it's, let me have, the challenge to do that. And the money supports the cancer support programs, which they believed in. So, you can donate items, you can donate time, you can donate connections. Sometimes it's, I know the person who controls the sponsorship at my company, and, we'd love to be able to sponsor a hole for $500 at your golf tournament, or, maybe donate a dinner that we can utilize. There's so many different ways to get involved. And, the great thing about this time is that it's creative. We can't do some of the things we're used to doing. So what's a new way of doing it? Bubble dining was one of the things that we had. And, there's so many different ideas on how to be able to make stuff happen.
That's so awesome. And you're right. And at taking the risk of getting in trouble by a whole bunch of women, I'm going to say it's what most women say is, I can take the money however you'd like it, and I'll go and spend it. So I'll take that risk. But, the reality is that nowadays, with all of these different options available, and the fact that the money goes directly to helping others, it's not something where you're putting the money in and it's being, funneled through another program or something else. This is direct access. So like you said, you give $100, and, maybe you find that person that will do a program or a leadership that is licensed, and give the rest of their time, because obviously $100 isn't going to be enough. They'll have to give their time too, but it can spur, from one person to help to a next person to help. And it's just knowledge. It's absolutely just knowledge and getting the word out there. And I hope that our community chat helps with that.
Well, and again, like, people that might not understand or have more questions, is that, any organization is going to be responsive to their community's needs. And if they want to survive, that's what they do. And we've been here for 10 years, we've been doing it, and we've been doing a good job of it. So we encourage people to discover the magic that we have here and be a part of it, because many hands make easy work.
So Aaron, I just want to make sure that there's absolutely nothing we've missed, any information that maybe somebody would ask you on a regular basis, or, even something crazy, like what's the most unusual request that you've had?
Good question. You're going to throw that one to me.
Well, it makes everybody sort of stop and inquire about, hey, you know what? Everything is okay to ask.
Well, I had someone through a contact had reached out going, we do dolls, can you guys use some dolls? And, what can we do with dolls? We're not a toy store or details, but you get through the conversation of, we do deal with kids, and, we'll partner up with, some of the other community groups, like the Pediatric Oncology Group of Ontario, which runs programs out of Aurelia. And it's going to be, for children that, might be stressed about this, can we provide a doll where, instead of, talking to a kid of, this is where a stent is going to go into your mommy or your daddy, of, let's show you on the doll of what it is that's happening. What are some of the things, and utilize play therapy. And, it doesn't wind up being a gift of cash. It doesn't wind up being a gift for an auction that we can convert to cash, but it winds up being a gift that allows us to be able to have a conversation with a child about cancer. And, how we use that, how we engage with partners in the community winds up being important. So, there's always creativity in how we are able to do that. Talking to a potential sponsor about a golf tournament, what are some sponsorship opportunities that we have there? And, came up and put down in front of them. Have you ever been to a beach volleyball tournament? My daughter plays volleyball. I've seen lots of volleyball throughout the year. She's going to go off to McMaster, play volleyball there next year. And it's like, at beach tournaments, they have stamps that they put down with logos. Can we get you to sponsor a sand trap? Where people land in a sand trap, and it's like, you want a better place to live? Come with us, and get a free lift out of it, so have fun, be creative. And I think that's just the one thing I want to be able to bring out, is that, as depressed and as sad as we are with yet another lockdown and the impacts of what we have, is that, we're only contained in our minds as much as we want to be. So if you have energy, you have excitement, you have a crazy idea, let me know. If anyone knows anyone on how to be able to build augmented reality programs, I have a crazy idea. I want to talk to you. If you know someone that knows someone, if you got, it's how things get done. And it's there's so many different ideas that can come forth that, it's manic energy almost, but it's how some things wind up happening. Whoever thought that taking a bucket of ice water and dipping on your head would raise $100 billion?
Crazy.
So we have no idea how that will wind up playing out. And for me, it's building community. Community is being available for anyone that has an idea or has a question. See what it is we can do. Maybe it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but we're trying. And that, at the end of the day, is what it is that counts.
That's amazing. Aaron, I just want to thank you so much for giving me your time. And I hope that the community chat helps open the eyes of some people that might not know exactly what Gilda's Club does, and at least gives them the opportunity to click on that link and go check you out and see what the red door means, see why they chose a red door. These are all really great questions. And I think, giving people the opportunity to know that you are available and you can help, take people's thoughts and ideas and create that into something that's helpful for people in our community. And it's a beautiful thing. So I just thank you for that.
We're blessed with a very simple purpose, and it's to support anyone impacted by cancer. So if that's you or someone that we're here to help. And we unfortunately are confined by borders of province for how our licensed professionals can support people. But there's lots of things that we can actually do for people outside of the province as well. So if there's questions about it, visit our website, give me a call, send me an email.
Awesome. And we'll have all that contact information here right now. So
Heather,
thank you.
Thank you very much for having me on today. I really appreciate the time. And, we haven't talked before, and we've had a great conversation over this past hour that I've enjoyed. So yes. Thank you very, very much.
And you as well. So thank you, Aaron. And it's the Gildas Club, which is the Red Door up in the east end of Barrie near the hospital. This is Community Chat with Heather Hansen and ratedeal.ca, part of the Rock Capital Group. Thank you.